The Too Many Bones Trove Chest just scratched the fuck out of my board game table. This is maybe a PSA, maybe just a frustrated video because I should have been paying slightly more attention. And yeah, I can probably take a little bit of wax and fill the gaps, or I could potentially just get it refinished. But oh man. We just spent the past 2 hours building my Too Many Bones Trove Chest. We've organized it all. It is magnificent. It is lovely. And we are ready to play. And Wes discovered in the process that it's his favorite game. Not his favorite game of all time, but it's his one lifestyle game, right? The game that you invest everything in. And then we wanted to film a excited video about it. We were going to showcase it. We were going to highlight it. And so I scooted it over and then moved it back a little bit and then like shuffled it for the camera angle and the view. And then I looked down, and in the light, over here in this far corner, there are about a dozen scratches on the top of the table. And it's because what I've discovered is it wasn't a problem until we filled this up to about 30 pounds worth of pressure. But after it was filled up to about 30 pounds worth of pressure, there's all these little joints here at the top, and I assume the joints are the exact same at the bottom. And throughout this, there are what seem to be little nails or little staples or some type of metal fastener that pokes out just enough across the top, and again, what I assume is across the bottom, that as I've been moving this, because it's too heavy to lift, like this is, like if you're going to set this down somewhere, you will slide it around. As I've been moving this, it has been gently and subtly and just microly, just enough that the light catches it, scratching the fly out of the top of this beautiful bandpass table that I have. And I get it. That is part of owning a board game table. It is part of owning anything nice, right? It's like the truck owner who buys the brand new Ford and then grabs a hammer when he gets home and just dings the side of it to get that part over with. Because it's the first scratch, it's the first ding, it's the first, like, I am sure as I take this top off one day, I'll catch the wall or like ding a chair and I'll get a little nick. I'm sure if I have many people playing games here, someone will drop a cup or someone will be playing with like a big metal component and just drop some coins on it. And it's wood. It's soft. It's porous. It does have a finish over top of it. But it's wood, right? And wood gets dinged and gets scratched and gets lived in. It's one of the things that I like about having products. But oh man, the first set, and it's like a dozen little tiny shiny scratches. You know, a very similar thing happened to me with my Kingdom Death box, my $2,000, back like 8 years ago when I would, probably not that, like 6 years ago when I was obsessed with Kingdom Death, still am, but like when I was one of the most preeminent collectors of Kingdom Death, I commissioned a custom wooden box. And I took a insert that I had in the Kingdom Death box and set it on top of the Kingdom Death box, and it was just sharp enough. It was a type of plastic or something like that, but it was just sharp enough that as I moved it down and back, I like left a check mark across the top of my brand new box, right? Again, it's wood, it's been finished, but it's just, it will get dinged, it will get damaged. And that bugged me, and that still bugs me, that still hurts. And this whole panel over here, it's just, it's not even deep enough that I can feel much of a difference. It's only when the light's hitting it. And if you're paying attention. But that it just eats at me. So this is two things. This is a Flocking Friday video. This is a episode that we do every Friday here on the Quack&Co channel, the board game channel where every video is 10 minutes or less. We're just frustrated. We're frustrated about a game, a component, a nuanced thing, a missing rule in a rule book. It doesn't matter, right? Sometimes you just need to let off a little bit of steam, and that's what this is. And oh boy, do I need to let off a little bit of steam. But also, I guess in a way it's a bit of a PSA. Like, if you have a trove chest and you have a nice wooden table or a board game table, be careful not to put those two things together. Like, because who is going to maneuver around this and pick this up and shift it, right? Who is going to do that? It is got to be 35 pounds at a minimum. That's a lot, especially going from like a seated position to lifting. I don't even know. I can barely lift this from a seated position where I am now. So my natural inclination is to shift this on the table, is to move this around back and forth, and it scratched the fuck out of my table. So don't do that. Don't scratch the fuck out of your table. I know a lot of people are going to be getting trove chests soon. Pay attention. Double check to see if there's little metal rivets that are poking through. Don't let one beautiful thing also hurt another beautiful thing. So there's your PSA. I'm going to go look up some wood oil options or wood wax options, because I do know that giving this a nice polish in that one spot, as long as I use the right product, which is the risky thing, I'll probably call my grandfather. He's a woodworker. I do know that wax can fill the gap and not correct it, but make it so that to the eye or to the touch, it's not as noticeable anymore. So I'm probably going to try to do that solution. And luckily, it's like the far panel here, which is not really on camera, so it really won't be too big of an issue. But it does suck. It is sad. Like you have to agree with me on that. Like the first ding, the first little bit of damage. It's gonna, and it'll just, the worst part is it's just gonna stay right there in my mind. Right? It's just gonna be this worm that every time I sit down now, I'm going to glance right there and check. Every time I put something on the table, part of my brain's going to be like, oh, what if it, like, double check this, I'm going to scratch it. Like, on my Kingdom Death box, I didn't put anything else on the lid. I am so precarious when I lift and open and push and hold and, like, don't hand it to anyone. And yet the scratch is still there, and my eye gets drawn to it every time I interact with it. And for the past couple weeks, as we've been filming on this table, I've been double checking. I've been like wiping scrapes away. I've been putting play mats down when I think something is risky. I've been really trying to be as precarious as possible. Oh, there's some right here. I'm discovering that there's like a big swish right here, and it's definitely indented. I mean, it has definitely owned its own little spot, and it doesn't fit with the grain, because the grain is beautiful and has its own texture to it. But yeah, a gentle little check mark. So, that's all right. It's all right. It's okay. It's just a thing. It's just an item. It's just a very nice table. It's just an incredible game. It's just the combination of chaos and life and things coming together, and it's fine. And it's also frustrating. And it's also, I think I'm allowed to be frustrated, right? Like, I think both of those things are okay and are in their own way justified. I'm going to go ahead and pack up this copy of Too Many Bones. I'm going to move it downstairs to the calyx where it belongs. And I'm probably going to check the bottom of it before that, just because I'm really curious for my own mental sanity if it, like, I just want to feel the metal rivets. I can feel them up top here. I just want to... And then I'm going to stick it in the calyx. It's going to fit perfectly into a calyx. And it's never going to leave that location until I'm moving. And even then, we might just have the movers deal with it. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Remember, less time watching means more time playing. Let me know what item of yours has that one scratch or ding or just that one little imperfection that tears at you. We'll see you next time.